Hey guys, we got another ostrich offering thanks to the collaboration with Horsefeathers Ostrich Farm of Webster, New Hampshire. We're going to take a look at how you can use some of the ostrich shank meat as ostrich kebabs. Yeah, we're going to light up the grill for this one. It will take a little bit of prep work on your part, or you can change the cut of ostrich, so it's entirely up to you. So for that recipe, head on over to kcknh.com. Monty and Allison are over at horsefeathersostrichfarm.com. Find us both on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube, and be sure to like, subscribe, and share. Now, I don't care where you are in the world, food on a stick rules. You're going to find it in India through Tandoor. You're going to find it in the Middle East, Persian countries, Mediterranean countries, Greece. Everyone loves food on a stick. Meat, vegetables, fruit, you name it. And I'm taking some of the shanks provided by Horsefeathers Ostrich Farm, and I'm actually going to take some spices that I have that you will need to possibly find at a local Middle Eastern shop or go online. Maybe even some of your dollar stores might have some of these spices, you never know. But this is going to be a project that requires a lot of knife work. If you're going to take this off the bone, for what it's worth, it's going to be labor intensive. You're going to need a good boning knife for this. There is something about ostrich shanks that will provide a lot of flavor, but it does take some work to be able to get that meat out. And as you can see, there's quite a bit of silver skin, connective tissues. It's something that you can't avoid it unless you're going to get a different type of cut. So take your time if you're going to do the effort of cleaning the meat on your own. It is going to be different than what you're used to with, say, beef, pork, chicken. It's definitely something that behaves differently, I have found. And this is actually a brand new knife that I have. And as sharp as it is, it still had a little bit of difficulty getting through the connective tissues, silver skin. It's just par for the course. I mean, we're dealing with an animal that is so dense on the meat. And honestly, it's so worth the effort here. You could certainly take a look at other cuts if you're interested in purchasing some ostrich meat. But definitely consider this is a great way to work on knife skills and for you to see just how well this really does break down. So I'm taking my time here being able to pull off what I don't want. And nothing gets wasted. I actually save everything. I will roast it off and then put it into a small pot so I can get some sort of ostrich stock going. It's not going to be a whole lot, but that's why I save everything and put it in the freezer. So as you can see here, sometimes it's going to fray, it's going to break on you, and that's okay. This is something that, for me, it's very medicinal to do. If you do a lot of work with grilling and smoking meats, this is second nature for people. It's just par for the course. So just take your time with this, and you can see here that the goal is we want to retain as much meat as we can by removing this, and you do need a sharp knife. And you can see here the meat's actually coming off pretty easy here, which is good. This particular piece is very, very stiff. It's like almost plastic-like. It's really incredible. And we're just going through the motions of cleaning the rest of the meat here. Now, for safety, I highly recommend that you do not use typical housemaker type knives. They don't do well. If you use a serrated knife, you're going to destroy the meat. You certainly want to consider looking at boning knives, even filleting knives. It's always good to have a few. You don't need the complete set. Like I have Santoku, a chef knife, I have a vegetable knife, which is from Japan. I've got this boning knife, and I've got a filleting knife. That's really all I need in the kitchen. You could do everything with a chef knife, but as small as these chunks of meat are, you don't want to work with a big knife. That's going to actually defeat the purpose. Use the right size, right style knife for the project. So we have acquired about 1.25 pounds give or take of shank meat that we finally cleaned. We're getting that in the bowl. And now we're going to add some garlic puree. I always do this ahead of time. We use a lot of garlic in this house, so that's why I had it readily available. I highly recommend doing a little bit heavier on the measure. I think I did 3 to 4 tablespoons for the recipe. Normally I would do like 4 ounces, especially when I'm doing grilled meats. Garlic is a beautiful thing. So I have my spices already pre-mixed. I actually made a big bulk amount of it. So keep one hand clean specifically for your dried spices. Use the other hand like I am here to do the mixing. And you want to get everything good and coated. If you see any red meat, you don't have enough seasoning. I'm telling you right now, it's not going to be enough. Ultimately, the goal is just to make sure that we got everything coated. And you want to keep the pieces as universal as possible. It's not always going to be exact. I mean, you saw the shanks. Some of the pieces were bigger than normal, so you may have to make adjustments with a cut here and there just to try to even it out. And these spices here, guys, they are a beautiful mixture. They add so much flavor to your meats, and it did so well with this ostrich. Oh my God. So now at this point, I'm going to get my skewers, and we're going to start sticking the skewers with the ostrich meat here. Now the key here is you don't want to overload it. You don't want to put the biggest pieces on there if they can be cut. Now I had some that were on the flat side of things, so I'm able to spread that out on the skewer. So very carefully poke that skewer into the meat, kind of weave it in so you can get that position well. Now if through the course of putting it on the skewer you start wiping some of the spices off, it happens. Just put a little more. You don't have to, but for me, eventually I'm going to coat them again. Now we're putting on, it's kind of hard to estimate how many ounces you're putting on each skewer. Just put enough so there's going to be room for you to be able to take tongs to flip, turn, and remove those skewers from the grill. And we're coming along great with this meat going onto the skewers. I had maybe 6 of them, I think. 6, maybe 7, and I had a few stragglers. And right onto a hot, cleaned grill. We've got some hot peppers that are going with this. We got the skewers set up for the interim because I know they're going to take about 10 minutes total time. It does take a matter of time to do, but you don't want these sitting here forever, guys. Now, with traditional Middle Eastern cuisines, they love to do grilled vegetables. So I've got some red bell peppers, Roma tomatoes, I've got some red onion here. And you can hit them with a little bit of salt and pepper at the end if you want. And we're going to take a look at what this looks like all composed onto a plate ready to dive in. And guys, this meal was frickin' delicious. Look at how beautiful that meat turned out. We got that medium, some of it's medium rare. I got to make my husband happy with the medium. And he also made a Shirazi with this, which is a tomato, cucumber, onion salad, which is typical with Persian and Middle Eastern cuisines. Now, of course, guys, use this with pita, make some fresh rice if you want, or even couscous. But either way, you're going to really enjoy the flavors of this. And I certainly hope you'll give this recipe a shot. I thank you for joining, and as always, if you need any help, you know where to reach me. I'll see you online next time.